Good morning everyone, this is M4J and welcome back to the channel, where today we're going to be talking about how to get good in World of Tanks Blitz. Most likely, a lot of you have seen where somebody, if you don't have like a very good game, somebody will just say like, get good LMAO, or something like that. I've had that happen to me quite a couple of times. And basically, I just wanted to talk about how I got better at the game. I know I'm not one of the best players, I'm a good player, but I'm definitely not one of the best players. There are way better players than me out there. I still have a lot to learn. But I'm just going to be talking about how I became a much better player. So I've got a couple of, I guess, points. I didn't really write them down, so this video may be a bit on the rambling side. But I'm going to try to lay everything out concisely as best as I can. I definitely don't say that this video is going to make you a fantastic, amazing player. It should at least help you become a better player, and hopefully be able to influence that many more games. So I'm going to have a couple of replays playing in the background while I am talking on this subject. So the first thing I want to talk about is the very first thing you have to do in order to become better is to steady. Without steadying, you are not going to get better. It's why you do school whenever you're a kid. Because doing that school, studying, prepares you for whenever you go out into the real world, into real life, and you start to apply the knowledge that you learned in school into that life. And as a result, you're usually better for it. The whole principle of studying is so that you can do it, arguably, you can learn how to do things the easy way rather than doing it the hard way, although that is up to debate for quite a few people who do not like school. So you have to study. One website that is really good for that I have found is blitzhanger.com. I'll put the link in the description of the video below. It's really helpful to go look at the statistics of the different tanks, and you can also look at the armor models. But that's what you have to do. You have to study statistics, you have to study the armor models of the different tanks and all that stuff. Because World of Tanks, it's not just a game where you can just hop into it and you can go play and expect to do well. You have to learn these things. Whenever I do a single battle, there are so many different things that I have to remember whenever I'm making a play. I have to remember if I'm going to rush one tank. I have to remember its armor. I have to remember if I can HE it. I have to remember what tank I'm driving and its DPM as opposed to the enemy tank. There is a lot of things that you have to know if you want to ever try to do good at this game. And that's why I think I love World of Tanks so much, because it's a thinking game. It's not one of those where you just kind of mindlessly go around and, I guess, match bubbles like you do in Candy Crush or whatever it is. It's something that you have to think about. You have to use your head when playing this game, and that is why I love it so much. Now, studying alone is not going to help you. Studying alone has never helped anyone. What you have to do other things besides just study. I mean, yeah, studying's a big part, but you can't just study. You have to put it into practice, and that comes to our next point, which is practice. So you've done the studying, you learned some more things, now it's time to put them into practice, do some battles, and use what you learned from your studying in those battles, and hopefully you will be able to learn how to do different things. Because, say you go and look at Blitzhanger, you can study, you can memorize everything on Blitzhanger, which would be an amazing feat. Just say you did memorize it all, but you had never really played that many actual battles. You are not going to do very well. You're going to get into those battles. You're not going to know the difference between 2,500 DPM and, let's say, 3,000 DPM. You're not going to know exactly how much that pertains to in the game. So that is definitely why you have to do battles. If you do not do the battles with the steady, you're not going to get any better at the game. Another thing you have to do, where'd my little note card go? Besides just doing the battles, besides just studying, both of those are really good things, but you have to do them together. And there are 3 other things you have to do together as well. And secondly on that is experiment. You have to experiment. I'm continually experimenting. I'm always learning new things. I'm putting those new things I learned into battles, and I'm always experimenting with new positions. I'm always experimenting with whether I can HE this tank or whether I can't. That's what you have to do. You steady, you play, so you put those things that you studied into practice, and then you have to experiment. You have to see what else you can do that you didn't know about before. That you have to learn what you can do without just studying. You have to experiment whenever you're playing. You have to occasionally take those risks. Now, I'm not saying just go out and be a complete idiot, load, let's say, a bunch of HE with your KV2 and try to penetrate an Annihilator in the side. Yeah, you can, but it's not exactly going to happen. It's not going to work out very well. Experiment, but when you experiment with moderation, roll the dice with moderation. Don't be a complete idiot and just go out there and, just do stupid stuff like pull up to a new position but your team's on the other side of the map. No, you have to do it with moderation. So go to your new position, try that out with your team supporting you. That brings me to the next point, which is review. You go back, watch your replays, see what you did wrong, see what you could have done better, and work on fixing that or doing it again. If depending on, of course, if it was a wrong thing, you obviously want to fix that. If it's a bad thing, you don't want to do it again. So go watch your replays, see what you did wrong. If you can identify where you went wrong, what you did good, and figure out how you won or lost that game, it's going to help you so much when you recognize exactly whether or not exactly where you messed up. And don't just do it on your own. Get someone else to watch your replays for you. That is going to help you a lot. Because if you have somebody else watching your replays, they're going to see things that you didn't see. They're going to pick up on a couple of things that you didn't see, and you're going to have a few more things up your belt. And maybe the more experienced player that is watching your replays will also have a few more tips that they can give you. So you always want to have an experienced player watching your replays. Well, not necessarily experienced, just somebody else in general if you can't get an experienced player. But obviously, a more experienced player does help with that. But just go talk to them, learn from them head on. Let them watch your replays and stuff like that. That's what you have to do. And now that brings us to our final point, which I completely forgot to write down. Oh yes, there it is. Think. You have to think. It is a thinking game. So you go into your battle, the first thing you have to do is read the lineup, like we can see here. There are 3 heavies. There's 2 heavies on our team, but we also have like an AT-8 and a Jackson. They've got a Churchill GC. I was fairly confident that their team's going to go to this side. You have to read the map. You have to continually think about what's going on. You're not going to become a better player unless you combine all 5 of these things and use them at once, is basically what I am trying to say. So for a quick recap, you need to study, practice, experiment, review, and then you need to think. That's basically all for today, folks. I'm going to let you finish watching up this replay. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and be sure to share it with some of your friends. This is M4J, over and out.